Okay. Hi, and thank you for being here today. Before I start, I have to warn you that this is a vlog style video, so I might be rambling. I tried to write a script, but I really don't want to write scripts. I want the channel to be going forward to be vlog style, so I might as well set the correct expectations from the beginning. Okay, so let's talk about this video, what I wanted to talk about in this video. There are two main things. Why I haven't posted in over 2 years on the channel, and two, what my plans are going forward for the channel. Let's start with why I haven't posted. I started the channel on January 1st, 2019. I had to look that up, but that's when I started it. So that's 2.5 years ago. And when I started it, I wanted it to be a channel about what I was doing to become a self-taught data scientist. I had just discovered data science after I got interested in AI and machine learning, and I thought it was so cool. I still do. I think it's a really cool tool to have. But what happened is that I quickly discovered that I didn't want to be a data scientist, or more specifically, I didn't want to be just a data scientist. I wanted to be something more. Data science, I still want to get super good at it. But data science is just a tool that I want to use for something bigger. Now that's where the problem was. I didn't know what that something bigger was. And it's bad because this is not the first time this happened. So after eight videos on this channel, I stopped posting, but this is not the first time this happened. I had started other channels before, and I still like the ideas from those channels. I started a channel about kids books, kids stories, taking the kids stories, old kids stories that are in the public domain, and re-illustrating them and retelling them for modern times. Then I started a channel about how to be called unframed minds, how to not be limited in your, narrow-minded in your thinking. I started a channel about the world's artists, and what else? I don't remember right now, but I started many channels, and I quit every single time. And that's what the problem was. The problem was that I was getting to a point where what I was working on didn't feel enough. It felt like I was limited somehow. So I didn't know how to make those small pieces fit into something bigger. And worse, I didn't know what that something bigger was. So when I quit this channel, the Bianca Gulia, the data science one, I didn't want to do what I had always done, put off the big picture out of my mind, because it's so hard to figure out the big picture. You have to be really brave, willing to put yourself to a lot of despair, existential crisis. So, and of course, I didn't want to do that to myself, but this time I did. And it took me a few months to try to come up with a life plan, with a big picture and everything. And what I came up after that time was this idea of being a bettering human. I made up that term. And what a bettering human is somebody who tries to make themselves a better person and to make the world a better place. Now, of course, there was another block there because I didn't truly know what a good person is and what a good world is. So how can I make either of those better? And it's where I started searching again. And I was forced to admit something very embarrassing. Because I'm middle-aged, that's why embarrassing. If I were younger, I wouldn't be so embarrassed. What I was forced to admit is that I don't have a good basic understanding of the world anymore. What I learned in high school and college is so outdated, and also it just wasn't always the right information. We learned dates and numbers and figures, and we didn't understand the basic concepts. We didn't understand the basic systems and the basic interactions between systems. So I thought, okay, I need to restart. I need to start learning about the world again, as a child, as a young kid that learns about the world for the first time. So this is where I came up with a plan. I thought, I don't want to just learn. I mean, I'm old enough where I have responsibilities. Like even if I wanted to learn all the time, which I absolutely love learning. I love learning new things. But I don't want to just learn anymore. I also want to do. So I needed a plan. And I came up with an expansion of the bettering human idea. And let me let me show you really quick what I condensed it to. And I'm sorry for the jerky camera. So let's see. Okay, this is the. Oops. I will put a. I'm sorry. I don't even know how to do this. I will put a screenshot of this, but I'll expand on it. I'm sure you can see my messy. Let's see my messy office. Lots of sticky notes. Okay. Let's see. So I will put a screenshot of that on the screen in the video, but I came up with a plan for how to be a bettering human. I thought, okay, it will have two phases. Phase one is where I will learn. I will focus most of my time on learning, and I will learn two kinds of things. Something that I call the elementary world knowledge, which is knowledge that everybody should have. And it involves meta skills like how to learn, how to be a good critical thinker, how to have a healthy mindset so you can deal with depression, loneliness, with ups and downs, and other things like that. So meta skills, those are the skills that make it easier to acquire other skills. And then there will be academic subjects, like something that everybody should know: probability, statistics, algebra, calculus, geography, history. Those are things that everybody should know. And I don't want them to be at just like elementary, like grade school level. Definitely at least like high school AP or an undergraduate degree. So just because they are elementary knowledge doesn't mean we should have just the simplest understanding of them. I really think it's good to push ourselves to have high standards. So those are the academic subjects, but then there are also things like more random things like people that everybody should know about from ancient world, but also in the modern world. Books, institutions, and concepts like democracy and I don't know, and freedom of speech and things like that everybody should know about. So that's the elementary world knowledge. But I don't want to just have elementary world knowledge. Actually, I would really like to be an expert in something, and this was very hard for me to figure out. I was trying to think of people that I admire, but it's never been just one person that I really look up to. It's always been a combination. So I finally realized that to have peace of mind is to do something that most people will consider unrealistic. I will actually do 6 degrees in 5 years, because this phase one of bettering human, this is what I call it, phase one, about the phase where I focus on learning, will take place over 5 years. And I'm already halfway through the first year, and I really didn't do as much as I should. I'm just starting now to get good systems. But anyway, this phase will end December 31st, 2026. And this so I will focus on elementary world knowledge, but this other knowledge, I called it polymathy lab, because the 60 degrees in 5 years, I will try to do the degrees that are taught at colleges at an undergraduate to graduate level, and I will try to finish them in 5 years. I have systems in place. Like I said, I know it's unrealistic. Most likely I will not be as good as I want to be, but at least I will try really hard to see how far I can get. And I will also build some things which I'm excited about, even if though I don't have the skills for them. I want to build some kind of web apps, and preferably like VR games, where we can explore the world. One of them is is actually called Learning How the World Works, where we can actually interact with history as in a game, but also as far as the present and the future, we can use different computational models to see how, the economics and the finance and political science and all sorts of things feed into what our world is today and how it affects it and how it can impact it. Or, like what kind of futures we can expect if we play around with these models. Obviously, they will be rudimentary, but still, it's a start. This is what I want to work on. So this is phase one, in which I mostly learn, but I also want to do some things. And by the end of phase one, even if I won't know exactly what a good person is and what a good world is and what a good life is, I won't know for a fact. I will just have a much better idea, though. So at the end of phase one, I will move on to phase two, in which I will actually I will set up, not try, but I will actually set up systems in which they will make it easy for me to be a bettering human. And I will actually work on projects. I want to implement to actually, that's why one of my degrees, it's actually bioengineering. I do want to learn engineering skills because I want to build things. I don't want to just talk about them. I think it's good to be a commentator and an analyst, but I also want to build things. I want to be a builder. So that will be phase two for the rest of my life. Hopefully I'll still be alive by then. But these are the plans that I have. Those are the, so that's the reason why I haven't posted and what's been going on behind the scenes, this setup. Now, what are my plans for the channel going forward? Like I said, it will be mostly a vlog style channel. I will build channels where I will put up the cleaned up version of what I'm learning, because really getting the resources and the setup for learning, it's very, very hard and confusing. And so I want to make it easier for people if they want to get started in learning physics, calculus, probability, but also something more advanced like cognitive neuroscience or um, computer science and AI and all that. I want to make it easy for people to find those resources, and hopefully, I don't know if I'll be able to make courses, obviously from a beginner's perspective, but I'll try. But those channels will be cleaned up versions of what it takes to be a bettering human. This channel will be the true, the raw, the messy, behind the scenes. Because here's one thing that I'm so confident in. A lot of people are lonely, confused, overwhelmed by what's going on. They really don't know where to start. I truly believe that most of us are good. I truly believe that. We do bad things, yes, but I truly believe that most of us are good. And despite all the darkness and the bad thoughts and the like violent impulses we have inside of us, we truly want to overcome those. So it would be nice to have more examples of people who do that, of people who try to bring the best in themselves. And I hope that with my channel, other people will see that it really doesn't take much. You don't have to have things figured out. This is what it's really important, to try to figure things out, to keep going even when you feel confused and overwhelmed and have no clue what to say, what to do, where to start. So this is why I feel comfortable starting sharing content on my channel again. I do want it to be useful. Before, when I started a data science channel, and then I figured out I didn't want to be a data scientist. Now my motive for starting the channel was gone, right? So why would I post anything? It was useless. But now that I have ideas that I think are useful, then I do want to start posting again. And I won't post often. Editing videos, it's a nightmare. I can tell you. I really, even my unedited videos, I just cannot stand the idea of editing videos. I love talking to you and I love explaining what I'm working on, but editing, no. So I will, at the most, post once a week, but I will commit to posting every Friday and at least saying hi and letting you know what's going on. So I hope it's not a waste of your time. If you feel inspired at all to start learning and start bringing good in the world and start bringing the best in yourself, in yourselves, leave a comment, connect over the email that's in the about section of the channel. I have a Twitter. I'll probably leave it there. I can't stand using social media, but I mean, I do. But anyway, connect. And I hope that we can help each other grow and encourage each other. And like I said, bring out the good in the world. And actually, I will leave you with one quote that I really, really love that's here on my diagram for Bettering Human. And it comes from Carl Sagan, and it says, "Our species needs and deserves a citizenry with minds wide awake and a basic understanding of how the world works." So learn how the world works, learn how you work, and figure out a way to bring the best in yourselves. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.